guys, welcome back to the Avocado Toast Budget. If you're new here, my name is Lexa, and today we are going to talk all about lifestyle inflation, which let me tell you, that is the thing that will creep up on you, and it is the thing that will keep you trapped in the paycheck to paycheck cycle, and I feel like we don't talk about it enough. Lifestyle inflation is what happens whenever our income increases and then our spending increases along with it. We get used to living in bigger houses, driving nicer cars, just spending more money day to day, because as we increase our income, we think, oh, we can like afford these things now. But what can happen is that if we're not careful, we can get stuck in a spiral where our spending gets out of control and we find ourselves living paycheck to paycheck even as we keep making more money. This is why you end up seeing those videos about people who like make six figures, but they're also six figures in debt, or they keep living paycheck to paycheck, or they keep overdrafting on all of their accounts and they have a bunch of credit card debt. But what happens is that we end up getting used to just living a higher quality of life that costs more money, and then before we know it, our income has increased, but our savings hasn't. If anything, sometimes it can even decrease. I thought that the lawnmower guy left, but it appears not. I just got done in another video right before this talking about how I just got a new debt is morally neutral sign because the other one fell and broke, and then this one proceeded to fall and break. But luckily all of the damage was on the backside, so I was able to just super glue it. Stay. I want to be clear that not all lifestyle inflation is bad. There can be ways that you can upgrade your life that add a lot of value and convenience and are totally worth the money and fit within your budget. The issue is that when your spending gets out of control, you feel like you can never get ahead. You feel like no matter how much you increase your income or get bonuses or move up in your field, that you always just feel behind and always stuck in that trap of the paycheck to paycheck cycle. So that kind of lifestyle inflation, the kind that doesn't serve you, is what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to break this down into two parts: how to prevent lifestyle inflation and how to combat it when it's already happened in your life in ways that aren't serving you. So in order to prevent too much lifestyle inflation, the first thing that I recommend is that you evaluate what you value spending money on. What are the things to you that are worth spending money on, splurging on a little bit? And then what are those things that you're okay cutting back on, spending less on, finding frugal, cheap, creative ways to not spend as much money in those areas so that you know you can spend more on those things that you really care about. For example, for me, I don't care about cars. Like, as long as my car functions and doesn't cause me issues, I'm good with that. I don't need a nice car. I don't keep up with that kind of thing. I know that for me, spending less money on a car, trying to keep a car payment low or avoid a car payment, is a really good way for me to avoid lifestyle inflation in that area of my life. Whereas in other areas of my life, I might be willing to splurge a little bit more. Like my recent move to this new house, that was a big upgrade in my lifestyle. I went from a 1-bedroom to a 3-bedroom. This is the most I've ever been paying in rent. But for me, that was worth it because it was a well thought out planned decision of where I was willing to increase my lifestyle, knowing I would have to not inflate my lifestyle in other aspects in order to be able to afford to live in this new house. Hi, you're being a bit much. I love you, but you've overwhelmed me a little bit. I really recommend like actually writing out this list, deciding which areas are worth the splurge and what you are willing to cut back on, and having that like list written out that you can refer back to know kind of to help guide your spending, to help guide the decisions, the lifestyle decisions that you make in life, so that if you are increasing things on the splurge side, you know the things that you're gonna have to cut back on the save side. This part is all about saving where you can so that you can splurge on those things that you love. And if you've been watching my videos lately, you probably already know one of my favorite ways that I have been able to combat some of that extra spending has been to switch to Mint Mobile, who I am so excited to be partnering with on today's video. Mint Mobile is built on the nation's largest 5G network, and they offer premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. And right now, I'm extra stoked because if you purchase a 3-month plan between November 14th and January 15th, you'll get 3 extra months for free. Buy 3 months, get 3 months. It's already super inexpensive to begin with. It's perfect. You can access this deal by using my link in the description box down below, mintmobile.com/avocado. And this offer is available on all of their plans, including the unlimited plan, which is the one that I have. Literally just the other day, I went out to eat lunch with my mom, who was telling me about how expensive her phone plan has gotten recently. So I was telling her about Mint Mobile, how much I loved it, and she was blown away at how much she'd been overpaying with her big wireless company compared to how much she could save with Mint Mobile. I love her. We're in the middle of an ad read. And if you're like my mom and you share a phone plan with someone else, you don't have to worry because Mint Mobile has you covered. They offer a modern family plan that lets you set up a super affordable family plan with as little as 2 lines. And take it from me, signing up was like seriously so easy. I was able to sign up and activate right on my phone using the Mint Mobile digital eSIM card. It took like less than 10 minutes and I got to do it without ever stepping into a big wireless store. And don't fret because you can keep your current device and phone number whenever you switch. All Mint Mobile plans include unlimited talk and text, nationwide coverage, and mobile hotspot. So you can stop paying more than you need to on your wireless bill and save big with Mint Mobile. Use my link in the description box. Take advantage of that deal that they've got going on right now. It's mintmobile.com/avocado, and you can get premium wireless starting at $15 a month. Thank you so much to Mint Mobile for partnering with me on today's video, and let's go ahead and move on to our next tip. Another great way to prevent lifestyle inflation is to be conscious of the true cost of life changes. So for example, spending $200 more a month on rent or on your mortgage might not seem like much. It's only $200, only a couple $100s, but it's important to calculate what the true cost of that is and what that actually equals over time. $200 a month is also $2,400 a year, or $12,000 over the course of 5 years. So you want to ask yourself if that $12,000 is well spent on that lifestyle upgrade, or if there's something else that you'd rather put that money toward. Again, the answer might be yes. It might be that it is completely worth that extra money that you're spending. But the key is being conscious about that decision before you make it, and not getting trapped into thinking that it's just a small change when really that money can add up over time. The next important thing is to focus on the big three. These are the three categories where most people spend the most amount of money, and those are food, transportation, and housing. The reason that these three categories are really important to focus on when it comes to lifestyle inflation is that they can severely impact how much money you're paying month to month. The average amount of groceries that people spend per month on one person is around like $400. The average car payment is over $600, and the average mortgage payment is over $1,600. So that's a lot of money. And obviously, we have to eat. We have to be able to get to and from work if you leave for those things, and you need to like have a roof over your head. So it's not saying that like it's a bad thing to be spending money on these things, but what I am saying is that focusing just on these three areas rather than like the little things, and yes, like we've talked about, these little things can make a big difference over time, but really it's the big purchases, the big areas that you're spending a lot of money in that have the potential for the most impact. So the trick is to ask yourself before you start upgrading your car or your home or eating out a lot, is this something that you really value and care about? Is it something that you need to be spending extra money on that is going to add a lot of joy in your life? Or are you upgrading just because you feel like you should, or because you want to keep up with a certain lifestyle, or you want to appear to have a lot of money, or you want to match the lifestyle of the people around you? Or I know for me, a lot of it was like I felt like I needed to do these things to look like a functioning adult. I'm 26 years old. I still don't really feel like I have anything figured out. If anyone in their 20s has anything figured out, let me know, because I'm convinced that none of us know what we're doing here. And I know that right after I graduated college, I spent a lot of money upgrading my life because I thought that that's what I was supposed to do. I thought, now I was an adult, I graduated college, this is the next thing. I need to have my life together. I need to look like I have my life together. I need to have the perfect home decor, in the perfect home, driving the perfect car. And that is like so far from the truth. But I also know that a lot of us feel the same way. We get really caught up in the appearance of things. So being more conscious, again, that's kind of what this whole video kind of wraps back around to, is this idea of being conscious and being aware and making decisions based on things that actually matter to you. Because I'm being perfectly honest, it is a lot easier to prevent lifestyle inflation than it is to combat it. Because once we've gotten used to a certain quality of living, it's very hard to imagine life without those things. I now have a washer and dryer and a dishwasher in unit in my house. And for a long time in the apartment that I was renting, I didn't have a dishwasher, and then I finally did get one that had a dishwasher, but then I didn't have a washer and dryer in unit. And I survived, I got by. I will admit those are two big upgrades that I think are worth it, but they are definitely things that now that I have it, I could not imagine going without. Hi. No, you get down too. But now that I've gotten used to these daily little luxuries in life, it would be really hard to go without it. But if you have found yourself in the situation where you did let your lifestyle creep up and now you're still living paycheck to paycheck, and you know that what you're spending is either more or right on the amount that you are making every month, let's talk about ways that you can kind of combat that. Kind of going back to those big three, food, transportation, and housing, I think that food, from what I've heard from a lot of people and what I experienced myself, is the thing that people tend to spend a lot of money on, but they also have the most wiggle room, and it's the easiest to change and start to slowly reverse that lifestyle inflation. So if you find yourself eating out a lot, getting delivery a lot, spending a lot of extra money on expensive food, then I recommend finding ways to slowly but surely start to reduce those expenses, whether it is doing takeout rather than delivery to cut back on the delivery fees, or whether it's doing something like HelloFresh rather than takeout. Even though that's more expensive than groceries, it's less expensive than takeout. Or maybe you just try cutting out on takeout once a week or once a month, little by little, to start getting used to not taking advantage of those expensive luxuries as often. Another big thing about this is focusing on, especially things like your mortgage payment and your car payment, understanding that affording a payment is not the same as affording the car. And what I mean by this is that sometimes we'll look at our budget and we'll think, oh yeah, I can come up with this few extra $100 a month to be able to upgrade my car a little bit, or this is something I'm willing to splurge on, but we don't take into account all of the extra cost that come along with buying a nicer car or having a bigger house. Especially with your house in the United States, a lot of us are really used to single family homes with a lot of space and yards and just a lot of extra room that many of us are not actually using, and that can end up costing us a lot more money than we feel the need to fill that space with a lot of extra things, and then that costs more money, and then it can just feel like really overwhelming. And I know that this is not something that you can reverse overnight. It's not as easy as just moving or finding a new house. But again, the key is once you're aware of it, you can start making little decisions over the long term that can kind of get you back on track. Maybe it's that you found yourself in a house that you know is too big for you, and you are willing to downgrade here in the future whenever it is plausible for you to be able to move, or you just know that this isn't the right fit for you, and maybe you can't move right now. Maybe there's not something that you can do to... What's your plan? I'm sorry, this video is taking me like an hour to film, and I know it's not that long. Obviously, just like up and moving is not that easy for most of us, and it is expensive at first. So I'm not saying that in order to combat lifestyle inflation, you need to like up and move to a super small apartment that you're paying nothing for, that doesn't even fit like your lifestyle or your needs or what you value. But my point is, if you are being aware of how you might have increased your lifestyle in ways that don't add value to your life right now, you can start to make little changes to start reversing that. And maybe the next time that you go to move, rather than doing the thing that we think is logical and upgrading, finding a place that maybe is actually technically like a downgrade from where you were, but it fits your life better and it fits your budget better. And then you can free up room for the things that like you actually want to spend money on, the things that you want to save for, and the things that you truly value in life. Let me know down in the comments, what are some ways that lifestyle inflation has creeped up on you? Things that maybe you live with now that you've had that little luxury, you know you couldn't live without before, or ways that you have managed to avoid lifestyle inflation even. Let me know. I love hearing from you all. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope that you learned something cool. If you did, please remember to give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm, helps boost this video to the top. That way more people can find this content, and I will see you all next time. Bye. Oh my God. Okay.